everybody, it's Jamie, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make this really cool bracelet using those plastic lanyard things that you guys always made in summer camp or Girl Scouts or even at school. So let's get started with what you need. So for this particular tutorial you're going to need a ruler. I would suggest 2 sets of pliers if you have a thick chain like mine. I got my thick chain at Michael's Find, and you're going to need some lanyard string in your choice of color. So for the first step, you're going to need your 2 different sets of pliers and your really thick chain. You're going to break off and kind of measure how much chain you want compared to how much lanyard. So for the first bit of lanyard, you're going to want to measure how much lanyard you want to show on your wrist. So since I wanted mine about halfway across my wrist, I end up choosing about 8 inches, which will fold in half to about 4. I then measured out the longest piece of string, which will be the actual wrapping of the bracelet. I made mine about 100 inches and it didn't quite make it to 3 rounds, so I would do 120, and it's going to be really long and tedious when you first start, and it's probably going to get tangled at some point, but trust me, in the end, it's totally worth it. So now you're going to take your shorter string that's going to be the length of your bracelet, and I use one of these clip thingies and clip it down so while I'm starting I don't have to worry about holding that together and also starting the bracelet. And you're going to just loop that through one end of your chain, and then you're going to take your longer, really longer, way longer piece of string, and you're going to find the center of it, put the center behind the loop that is attached to your chain, and then you're going to pick one side, left or right, really doesn't matter. You're going to make a loop with that, and then, so I made a loop on the left hand side, and then I'm going to take the right hand string, put it in front of the loop string, and then bring it around the back side of the clip and the center string and up through the hole, and then tighten it as tight as possible, and bam, you're already starting. And then once you get it started, you can take the clip off and get it out of the way. Make sure it's nice and tight, and then you're going to take the opposite side and make a loop with it. Now, the way I've determined how to do this is whatever side is sticking straight out, that's the side you make with the loop, and the one that kind of sticks up and spills out the knot is going to be the one that you fold over, around, and up through the loop. And I know it sounds really confusing, so hopefully this video you can visualize what it looks like. It's really simple once you get started, and the first few times you do it, it's going to be really hard and it's going to get twisted and it's not going to come out right, but trust me, just keep trying. So here's a close-up of that whole process. Now, this left string that is sticking straight out is what you're going to make your loop with. And then the string that kind of spills up and over, you're going to cross over. And the whole first strand is really irritating because it's really long, but you're going to bring it over your loop and around the back and up through the hole, and then tighten and make sure kind of as you go, especially when the string is longer, that nothing is twisting, because then otherwise you get all knotted and you come up short, and if you have double-sided like I do, the colors flip-flop. And so you're going to end up doing the whole bracelet like that, and then when you get to about the center, you're going to want to fold the rest of your center string in half so that it tucks in nicely. And it may take you a couple of knot thingies to get this. If you decide to make your bracelet a little shorter, tuck it in sooner. If you want to make it a little longer, tuck it in later. It kind of gives you free reign. And then once you get it tucked in there, you can pull it a little bit down so that it's not sticking out if you just plan on doing 1 strand. If you plan on doing 2, it really doesn't matter. And then you just keep going. Okay, so once you get to the end, if you want to do a king cobra stitch, you're basically going to take whatever you're doing, flip it upside down, and then you're just basically going to start the process where whatever one is sticking straight out the side, you're going to make a loop, take your left hand string, pull around and up through the back of the loop, not hoop, and then you'll do the same process for the entire length once again. And then if you're feeling really adventurous and you want a thicker bracelet, you can do like a triple cobra stitch, which is what I did. And you basically just do the process. You make a loop, bring the second string over that one around the back and up through the loop, and you'll do it the entire length of the bracelet as well until you run out of string like I did. Because I didn't put enough. And so since my strings end up coming up a little short, I ended up just using some tacky glue and gluing the smallest piece first, and then wrapping the longer piece until it became a really tiny piece, and then tacky glued that and held it with a clip. And it worked perfectly fine, although my longer strand came unglued, but I'll glue that again. That's it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this really easy DIY. If you guys end up making it, definitely tag me on Instagram and Twitter and show me your amazing creations. And don't worry if you mess up on the first one or the second one or the third one, because Lord knows I messed up on the first 3 that I've ever made. So please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, while you're down there, hit that button down below and subscribe to my YouTube Confetti Nation. I will throw as much virtual confetti at you as humanly possible. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Pinterest, and follow my artistic adventures on Vimeo. And I will see you guys sooner rather than later. So goodbye.